My name is Kris Gethin, and what I aim to bring to you is inspiration, motivation from clients, everything that will allow you to evolve as a human being. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of the Kris Gethin podcast. Now, if you hear bees, birds, sheep, or anything of the such in the background, it's because I'm in the middle of Wales staying at a beautiful cottage right next to my sister's place. Actually, you could probably see it in the distance right over there. So my sister and brother-in-law know the people who own this cottage, so we are staying here for several days whilst in the UK. We were in the UK for the Health Optimization Summit that was on last weekend in London, and I was speaking on 3 different stages on 3 different occasions on the Saturday and Sunday, and it was a phenomenal event. Really enjoyed it. The crowd were great, the exhibitors were awesome, the speakers were unreal, and it was an opportunity to educate the masses that flew in all about health optimization, biohacking, how to increase your health span. And it was of no coincidence that the majority of the people there, the speakers, when I say that, were just very cognitively efficient, very quick. When people were talking on stage, no one was umming and ahhing or slow. Everybody was very assertive and curt, and I really enjoyed that. So, you know, that's one thing that I find is quite fascinating. We know if we look a certain way, it's usually because we eat a certain way. If you want to look fit, you better eat healthy and eat clean and, you know, control your calories. If we want internal health, it all starts with what we feed ourselves internally. But people have this massive disconnect between brain health, and they have no correlation that bad food can lead to chemical imbalances that lead to a slower incline of cognitive function. So, you know, eat healthy, heal your head, heal your future with the food that you eat. So that was really cool. And if this podcast does go out before June 25th, which I think it will, I will be at Ultimate Fitness in Birmingham, England, hosting a seminar there at 11 a.m. It's a free seminar. The first 40 people get free goodie bags, GASP accessories, a GASP goodie bag, caged supplements. We'll also have caged ambassadors there doing sampling, and there'll be a lot going on. It is the 5th anniversary of Ultimate Fitness, which is owned by my good friend Simon Fan. So there'll be a lot going on there. So if you are listening to this, 11 a.m. on the 25th of June, you can go to the link in my Instagram bio to register. And like I said, it's all free. So looking forward to seeing some of you there, I hope. That'll be my last UK appearance this year. I'll be flying back to Boise, and my next appearance in the US will be the 1st of August, the first week, of August. I'll be there for the week. I may be hosting a seminar there as well, but I will be in Destination Dallas for that week in Texas. Okay, so keep an eye out on my socials for that as well, and that will be my only US appearance. I think I'll be heading to India after that. I may be at the Dubai Muscle Show, so there's a lot coming up. It's been quite busy. Speaking of busy, it's been all go since 6 weeks ago now. 6 weeks ago, I was in Tijuana in Texas, where I had stem cells. As some of you may know, I had several tears last year. Had a meniscus tear, had a supraspinatus tear, and the most, I'd say, complicated of all those tears was my tricep tear. 68% of the tricep came off the bone, and this is all from a snowboarding accident. I've torn my hamstring in the past whilst heliboarding in the Himalayas some years ago, and here we are now with several more tears again from snowboarding. I gotta slow down, man. I have to slow down just a little bit. Even though I say I have no plans on slowing down, I have to slow down a little bit. It's funny, I never really get any injuries in the gym. It's always outside of the gym. So anyway, that's been a complicated injury. I had surgery to reattach it. After a year, only 40% of it had reattached. So then I thought, you know what, I gotta go get stem cells. I had been taking peptides like BPC 157, TB 500, 5-amino. I ipamorelin. There's a few peptides that I was taking, and they helped. Red light therapy was helping for sure, but this was a very, very complicated injury and surgery, and it does put an end to a lot of people's careers. So that's why I said, okay, stem cells it is. So went to Tijuana, had stem cells there. So I haven't trained for the past 6 weeks, because the reason being, if you have stem cells, you want those stem cells to localize where that trauma is. Obviously the trauma was the tricep tear. If I go and create external trauma from a chest workout, a back workout, a leg workout, now those stem cells will localize to those areas. I don't want them to dissipate from the area of concern, being my tricep. Of course, I had my supraspinatus injected, had my meniscus injected as well, but the tricep is my priority because it is causing so many issues, and it's, you know, having an effect on me mentally. There's no doubt about it. I can feel it, even if it is subconscious. I'm having a positive attitude towards it, but look, it's been nearly a year and a half now. Nearly a year and a half, and I'm like, God, this isn't really improving at the rate that I want it to improve. I want to get back into the training the way that I like to train. I want to not feel the effects of this tricep injury when I'm doing normal things, you know, like pushing myself up out of a chair. And it's really has become a pain in the ass. Only this week I set myself back twice. So when we were on the way to this cottage, there was a lamb that had got out of the field. The mother was in the field, and obviously grown up on a farm. You know, I'm like, you know, the lamb will get back in. It'll be absolutely fine. And the farmer usually takes care of it. But my wife was a little bit concerned. So I was like, Jesus, okay, I'll put the bloody lamb in. So I caught the lamb. And when I caught the lamb, I didn't even think about the tricep. It's always the element of surprise that gets me. Things like this have happened several times where, you know, I'll try to open a lid on a jar, and then when I open it, I'm like, geez, forgot about the tricep. Or when I drop something off a tabletop, off a counter, and I go to catch it, that's what really pulls the bloody tricep, and I feel like I've taken myself back a couple of months. And then when I grabbed this bloody lamb that was obviously a couple of months old, I felt it again. I was like, Jesus Christ, because the lamb was bloody struggling. And then when I was rushing around, I was in a hell of a rush this morning to get over to my sister's place. I was running a little bit late. There's a step that goes from the laundry room into the dining room, and there's a lip on these steps. They're slate steps, you know, stone steps, and I tripped and I landed on the palms of my hand, which normally wouldn't be of any concern. I'd brush myself off and carry on bloody rushing, and but this time I felt the bloody impact on that tricep. I was like, Jesus, here we go. So it's things like that that are bothering me and taking me back. But look, if you do have stem cells, do not train for a good 5-6 weeks following. Yes, you can have some movement, you can do a little bit of cardio that is allowed by your surgeon, by your doctor, by the specialists that are there. But, you know, for instance, I wasn't allowed to do any biking outside on my push bike, on my road bike, on my mountain bike, because the vibration can help and can promote the destabilization of those localized stem cells. I did have IV as well, but it's the localized stem cells that were injected into an area that you really want to ensure do not destabilize, you know. I've been very, very patient, haven't done any training or any hard training or anything like that. I've just been very, very patient, and now I will start ramping up my training a little bit. I did some push-ups here yesterday. I did a very light workout with Charles Glass when I was in LA just prior to coming over to London with a couple of my friends, my biohacking friends, Justin, Dr. Dom, my good friend Matt. We did get in some training sessions, but very, very light when we were in London, mostly circuits. You know, what else have I been doing? I've just been very, very patient. I've been on point with making sure that I'm not having any inflammation. When I was in London, I did hyperbaric oxygen chamber, I did NAD, I did red light therapy, I did cryotherapy whilst I was at Be Superhuman, the biohacking clinic owned by my good friend Jag Chima. So, you know, I'm still continuing to do all the biohacks that I know to help with the healing process of this injury. But it's just been mentally challenging. It really, really has. You know, I haven't been my best self. I feel a little bit anxious. I feel like there's something missing. I feel easily triggered. You know, I have been trying to come out here in the morning and meditate and invite positivity into my universe. Yesterday morning I had a great meditation session, but the second that I tripped over, it's like everything unraveled. You know, I was aggressive with myself. I was aggressive in my communication towards my wife. And I thought about it later. I was like, this is not good. This is not me. You know, I'm just trying to control my environment as much as I possibly can and try to center myself and focus on my breathing. And while I was in London at the Biohacking Summit, the Health Optimization Summit, there was a device there called Brain Tap. I'd heard all about Brain Tap, but my friend Darren Ollian, that you may know, suggested Brain Tap. I did try it out. I thought it was very, very good, but I don't want to be traveling all around the UK. And I'm heading to Romania next week with a Brain Tap device with me because I'm kind of short on space as it is. So when I get back to the US, I will invest in one of these machines and use that. That is a form of light therapy. It also works sound therapy on, you know, various waves, your gamma waves, your alpha waves. Apparently it can optimize those waves by about 20%. And I really did feel more relaxed, more focused after I just trialed that product just once. It's headphones, you have glasses that provides the light therapy that goes into your ears, into your eyes, and I really, really did enjoy that experience. So I am going to invest in one of those biohacks, quote unquote, and try that device. But while I'm here in the UK, and especially here in Wales, I feel that I am on a meditative journey on steroids, just being in nature, being in the environment, being able to earth myself, which is a little bit difficult in London and in cities. And speaking of cities, I will be going to Cardiff next for a little while before flying to Romania. So there'll be some places there where I can optimize myself as well and go into a biohacking clinic and maybe do a hyperbaric oxygen. So I'll always take advantage of that. And whilst traveling, staying on top of our nutrition. Before we even got to this place that we're staying at right now, we stayed on top of our nutrition by going to the supermarket, filling up the fridge. Before we came here, we stayed at my good friend's place, Alan Barrett. He is the owner of Grenade Supplements here, probably the largest supplement company in Europe. So he's a good friend of ours. We stayed at his place for a couple of days. So as you can imagine, he eats very, very clean. So he ate very, very good while we were there. And had a good time. And he's got a gym. He's got a very, very good gym in his house. So we worked out there as well. And so, you know, again, just very, very light workouts. I'm not going anywhere near failure. It's more mental therapy than anything else. It's just helping me kind of stay on track, stay grounded, and just remember what is important, because it's very easy for me to fall into the trap of speaking to you and say, oh, poor me, things are bad, I'm easily triggered, boo-hoo, I'm a sensitive little petal. But I have to remember there are so many people in the world much worse off than me. You know, think about the people in Ukraine. People think about, the people that have disabilities, that have health implications. As we speak right now, they're fighting for their lives in hospital. So I have to think about that and, be a realist and think that I am very lucky. But it is always very easy for us to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to our previous self when we were in good health, and comparing ourselves to others, especially with Instagram, and seeing my friends just kicking ass in the gym and hitting PBs. I'm like, shit, are those days behind me? You know what I mean? And if so, what am I going to do? How am I going to navigate? What am I going to do to sidestep to ensure that I can continue to evolve in different means? Maybe that means learning a language. Maybe that means taking up another sport. I don't think I'd even be able to take up golf at the moment, though, requiring the swing that it does. So it's like, okay, so what is left? So there's a lot of soul searching that I've got to do to ensure that I stay occupied, but not occupy myself too much with distraction, because I've done that throughout the years where I've just stayed so busy that I can stay away from the root cause of the issue that could be causing me some type of upset, and then it just gets worse, and it builds up until it overflows or explodes. So I'm very conscious that does not happen now, So I'm staying on track. God, my stomach is rumbling here. So I am fasting this morning, hence why I'm drinking my essential amino acids this morning. So please do excuse me while I take a sip. Oh, that's better. Okay, so this is quite a fast podcast that I'm doing for you right now. I just wanted to give you an update of where I am mentally post stem cells. But if you do go through any type of injury like this, please remember to be patient. I've gone through so many injuries over the years since I started racing motocross, and what I've noticed is that the more impatient I get, the longer term anguish that I have to deal with. So it's just short-term patience is required for long-term success, and that goes for a lot of things in life. I am one of those people that is kind of wakes up with a little bit of anxiety. My cortisol levels are a little bit higher than they should be. If I don't control them, my heart rate variability will tank if I don't control it. So I need to make sure that I'm very cognizant of that, and I stay present, and that I slow down a little bit when I'm eating my meals. I try to slow down, put the fork down, take deep breaths when things get a little bit out of control. Don't rush so much and fall over the bloody steps and hit your tricep or anything like that. But thank you very much for listening. I really do appreciate you. If you do have any questions, please ask them below, and please share this podcast with others if you feel it can help. Oh, by the way, forgot to say, the new 30-day shred is open for registration. If this does go out before June 11th, June 11th is the next uptake. So you can, again, click the link in my Instagram bio to register for my new 30-day shred ignited program. You can lose 30 pounds in 30 days. The last winner of the challenge did exactly that. He lost 30 pounds in 30 days, okay? So thank you very much. Once again, I appreciate you. And until next week, this is the Kris Gethin podcast. Peace. Thank you ever so much for listening. My name is Kris Gethin, and I am out.